Summer is here, ladies and gentlemen, and the deals are aplenty. Hi, everyone. John Spano here for the GERE Radio Network to let you know that if you shop Amazon at all for anything, please consider using our link instead of using Amazon.com. Our link is shopgear.com. That's shopgere.com. Very simple, very small. But what it does is when you type that into your URL browser, it'll redirect you right to Amazon, right to your account, and you do all of the Amazon purchases that you normally would. But the difference between using my link versus using the regular Amazon link is you tell Amazon that we at GERE Network referred you, and they give us a small commission of your purchases, which goes a very, very long way to help sustain the free podcasting and help us continue to upgrade the studio as needed to continue to provide this content. So very, very easy for you to do. You use Amazon anyways. Shopgear.com. Use that redirect link just once. It'll stick to your cookies. It'll stick to your history, and you won't have to even bother using it again. Just type the letter S after you use it once. Shopgear.com will pop up. Boom. Hit enter. You're good to go. You're at Amazon. You're doing your Amazon shopping. You're getting your free 30-day trial of Prime, which gives you shipping in 2 days or less if you don't have Prime. If you do have Prime, you're still getting the benefits of it, my babies. And you're doing it, and you're helping out this small business by doing what you normally do anyways. Thank you very much, by the way, for all of the patronage that you have given us over the years using shopgear.com and for the continued use of that link from all of us here at the GERE Radio Network.
The following is a presentation of the GERE Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Perez, and you're listening to Project Transformation on GERE Radio Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Perez. I want to welcome you to the first #1 episode of Project Transformation. I almost feel like I'm joined right now by Ryan Wolf. You guys have listened to Better Live Than Dead. You know, he and I do a little sports podcast. And whenever he announces the episode, I always follow up the episode number. So I almost felt like, Ryan, you should have jumped in there and been like, #1.
1. There you go. 1.
There we go. I appreciate it. Awesome. That was fantastic.
But hey, this is, I appreciate you having me. This is something we've all been looking forward to over here at the GERE Network, as well as people outside who've heard about this. This is a podcast that we all have definitely. We've seen the transformation: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, but now we want to hear about it. So that's why I think that a lot of us are excited, because not only do we want to, it's nice to see the pictures and see you in person and tell you how great you look, but it's also even more exciting. Right. It's even more exciting to hear about how you've done it and kind of help yourself motivate others and yourself as well. Keep yourself honest. Right. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, and that's really what this is about, man. It's, I decided to do this because I realized at the beginning of the year that I needed to make a change, and I want to do this to keep myself honest, and if it can motivate other people, then that's, a great thing. And in any way that I can help someone along their journey of getting healthier, then because I'm doing it right now and I have a pretty good support system around me, I want to provide that to other people too. And if listening to what I'm doing assist them in any way, then I'm doing what I want to do. And so, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, throughout the course of this podcast, as I do this podcast, there will be moments where it gets really personal. And I'm doing that because I want you to know that if you're out there struggling, that you're not the only one. Other people are struggling with the same thing also. And, Ryan, he has worked on a transformation himself. There was a time when he lost a good amount of weight, and it was noticeable, and I was proud of. I'm pretty sure I told you that was great, but dude, I was proud of you, the changes that you made.
Absolutely.
And you're still working on it, and that's a great thing. So this is going to be a self-reflection journey for a podcast, as well as I'll be highlighting other areas also. I'm going to talk to small businesses, people who have taken a business and transformed it. I got a set list of people I want to talk to, but mostly it's going to be my journey, and I want people to just come along and feel encouraged that other people are going through things. And so what made me decide to do this, and here we go, I'm going to get a little personal. At the beginning of the year, we're in 2019, for anybody out there who doesn't know, January, I got sick. And people know that I've had health issues, but this wasn't like my leg issues. This wasn't my Milroy's disease. I literally just got sick. I got a cold, I got a sinus infection, and I got like strep throat all at the same time. And, yes, that did suck. So I went to the doctors to get some medicine to see what they could do. And when I stepped on the scale, here it goes, first personal information. When I stepped on the scale said 420 pounds.
I mean, that's kind of nice to kind of add some hilarity here. That is nice.
Yes, I mean yes, absolutely.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is that you've lost 69 pounds.
Not quite yet, but when I do, I'll let you know.
Continue. I'm sorry.
As soon as I hit that number, we're going to do a podcast.
We got to
immediately. But so yeah, no, it was kind of funny. I don't smoke the 420, but it was humorous. So I realized at that particular moment in time that's too big. I'm only 5'10", and 420 pounds of some of my frame is not a good look. And let's be honest, I just celebrated my 46th birthday. So I'm getting up there. And you don't see a lot of older 420-pound people. And, that really struck me that I needed to make a change. So I went home and I spoke to my wife, who herself the last several years has gone through a transformation. She's been doing a lot of running. She's done some, half marathons. She's done a marathon. She's training for triathlons right now, half triathlons. So she's been doing a lot of running, a lot of swimming, and a lot of biking. And so she's really worked on improving her health. And so she understood where I was coming from when I decided to make some changes. And so, I did some small incremental things. I changed the way I was eating. I changed the amount that I was eating. And I haven't had soda since January. And I'll be completely honest with you. There's a few things that I'm not eating or drinking right now that I miss, and Coke is at the top of the list. I used to love an ice cold Coke, and I haven't had one since January. So I lost about 18 pounds, and it was a good platform. It was a good starting. And then there was a deal for Weight Watchers to join for a month free, and my wife told me about it, and I was like, you know what? I had done Weight Watchers before, and I had lost like 30, 40 pounds, and I would start feeling good, and I would stop the program, and I would go back to the weight that I was before, or I would gain weight. And in this particular instance, the last time I had done Weight Watchers was about 2 years ago, and I dropped 40 pounds, and I stopped, and, I just gained it all back plus. And so I joined Weight Watchers, and when I came home that day, after my first meeting and weigh-in, I told my wife, I'm not sure how we're going to do this because there's a particular diet I need to go on with Weight Watchers. There's certain things I can't eat, although the new program has a lot of 0-point foods, which is cool. I told her, so how are we going to figure out how I eat and how you eat? And she decided to join with me. So she joined with me. And that's helped tremendously because now, we're creating a menu for the week. And so we know what we're going to have for lunches and breakfasts and dinners. So her joining with me was great because now we're both doing the same thing, and it makes it easier to prep your meals, And frankly, to be honest with you, I was going to get into this a little later, but ever since I joined Weight Watchers, I've dropped another over 30 pounds, and I've lost over 50 pounds on the year since January, which is a good amount of weight. I have a long way to go, and I know this. And because I have a long way to go, that's where this is going to come into play. Like I said, it's going to keep me honest. I want people to be interactive with me. If you see me post something, you have a comment, shoot me a message. My Twitter is MRLG Perez. My Instagram is Project Transformation Perez or MRLG Perez. You can hook me up on Facebook, Louis G. Perez. I'm the guy with a big cigar in my mouth. Ryan, if you want to throw in your social media, go ahead, because you're going to be on some of these podcasts with me.
Absolutely. You can always catch me at WolfBLTD on Twitter. And I just wanted to add really quick, too, the one thing you mentioned about having someone keep you honest, that's really the most important thing about this. You've recognized that there's something you want to change. You've got someone to hold yourself accountable, but you can also work off of it. That's the most important thing when it comes to losing weight. Because for me, I did it the wrong way, crash dieted, gained a bunch of weight back, and then had to figure out a way to find out what worked for me. Some things I could no longer eat, some things I didn't want to eat anymore, and new things that I wanted to try. And the new things are good things. So, I try to keep myself honest and go to the gym as much as possible. Sometimes I go 3 times a week. Sometimes I'll go 3 times in 2 weeks. So it's just one of those things, again, like Louis had mentioned, you have to keep yourself honest, but it's very nice to have someone around you. You, Louis, it's your wife, me, it's my wife, that will just sit there and let us know, hey, if you think you feel a specific way, do something about it, because you can do something about it. If you don't, it's just you deciding that you don't want to.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's 100% true. It's a mental shift that you have to do. And for me, it was not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I credit the new program at Weight Watchers for it. I'm not trying to make this a Weight Watchers commercial, but I can eat chicken. It's 0 points. You can't fry the chicken, obviously, but there's certain ways that you can cook it to make it good. And I love seafood. And if we cook the seafood at home, it's 0 points. All fruits and vegetables are 0 points. So it was just a matter of shifting away from the amount of snacks that I was eating and making the snacks healthier. So, if I'm at work and I want something to munch on, I'm making sure that I'm bringing like oranges or apples or a banana, and that's what I'm eating instead of, a bag of chips from the vending machine or a candy bar. And now, don't get me wrong. There are still moments when I'll have a candy bar every once in a while. And as long as I don't get back into my old cycle, there's nothing wrong with that. You can't deny yourself everything. That's just not a good way to do it. And I mentioned that because one of the things I was looking at when I realized I knew I had to lose weight was I was looking at bariatric surgery. And now understand, for you people listening, I'm not knocking bariatric surgery. I know people who've had it, who've lost weight, and they look fabulous. That's awesome. If that's the route you decide to go, make sure you really look into it and you have a great doctor that does it. And the doctor that was going to do mine when I was looking into it is like the #1 bariatric surgeon in Rochester. So, I knew that the surgery would probably go really smooth. But here's the thing. I'm also set in my ways to a certain extent. I enjoy a beer every once in a while. I love bourbon. I love rye. I love rum. And every once in a while, I want to have a glass of bourbon or a glass of rye. And I also work part-time at a cigar shop. And those of you who follow me on social media or know me in real life know I love my cigars. So as I got more and more into the classes for the bariatric surgery, I realized that there was certain things I was going to have to give up for certain periods of time. I wasn't going to be able to be around any tobacco product or smoke for 6 months. 3 months leading up to the surgery, 3 months after the surgery. Now, for someone who does a lot of events for my cigar shop, not my cigar shop, the cigar shop I work at, and hangs out there on a regular basis, that was going to be extremely difficult to not be around. And you can't drink any alcohol for a year afterwards, and they monitor it. They do blood work to make sure you're following what they want you to do. So frankly, it was going to be a lifestyle change that was to the extreme for me. And it was not something I was willing to do. I wasn't willing to stay the way I was, but I was not willing to go through that surgery, mostly because if I want to have a cold beer, I want to have a cold beer. And to tell me I can't have a beer for a year is crazy. Now, if you're big and you don't drink, that'll work for you. You know what I'm saying? It'll absolutely work for you. But for me, it wasn't going to work. I like my lifestyle. I like the way I live my life. I like a cigar with a bourbon. And to tell me that I was going to have to wait almost a year to have a cigar and bourbon was just bonkers. So I decided not to go that route. But I knew I had to do something. When you walk up a single flight of stairs and you're winded, that's not a good sign. And so I made the mental switch, man. It was time to make a change. It was time to, as the title suggests, make a transformation.
And I don't mean this disingenuously, but seriously, good for you, because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
It takes a lot to make that choice. It also takes a lot more to actually to execute that choice, and you've done both. I would say very well. I mean, like you said, there's still a ways to go. But if everybody has down days. Everyone has down, you have a bad week where a couple weeks ago for me, for instance, I was at the point where I try to now at this point weigh around 190, 195 at my heaviest.
Okay.
And there was a couple weeks ago where I was eating what I normally ate, whatever, and I just felt like a pit. I could not stop eating. So I would get to the point where I'm like, I step on the scale, I'm, 195, 196, 197. Excuse me. And that was what I saw. And I said, no, I'm holding myself accountable. Got to go to the gym. Got to walk, work out harder, stay active. And now I'm back to where I was a couple weeks ago, 190, 191, 192. That's where I feel good. That's where I want to be.
Right.
So it's one of those things where set goals, find things that you're comfortable with, and then go for it and continue to work your ass off to get to that point.
Absolutely. And I haven't set a weight goal yet, because I'm still large. I still weigh over 360 pounds. So my first goal was to get under 400, and I made that. And my second goal was to get under 370, and I've done that. So now my next goal is, frankly, just to get under 300 pounds. And so after 300 pounds is what I'm going to reevaluate to see what else I want to do. Because 300 pounds is still big.
But it's a lot less than where you were.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, like, my wife, she told me that if I I collect Funko Pops. And there's a Grail Funko Pop that I want. It's a Grail to me. I'm a big, comic book buff. I love certain characters more than others, like Superman. I'm a big Superman guy. There was a series called Elseworld where they kind of flipped the story, and there's one called Superman Red Sun, where he lands in Russia and becomes like a beacon of the Communist Party. The symbol is his normal diamond, but with the hammer and sickle in it. It's a really cool symbol. They made a Funko Pop, a Superman Red Sun Funko Pop. It was a Comic-Con exclusive. Actually a comic book shop in New York City's exclusive that was launched at a Comic-Con like 3 or 4 years ago. It's not cheap. It goes online for well over $100. My wife told me if I get under 300, she'll buy that for me.
That's fair. There you go.
Yeah, right. I appreciate that. So I told her, start saving your money because I'm going to get that. And I feel like that's what you need to do sometimes. You
Absolutely.
need to set goals, and you need to give yourself an award, like a reward.
Give yourself more of a reason than just losing the weight, because sometimes that can be the reward. But other times you may need to say, yeah, I can lose weight, but who cares? But sometimes you have to kind of give yourself, put the little carrot in front of you and say, look, no, I'm going to bust my ass to get that thing, and then I'm going to work even harder.
Right. And so, it's little things like that that's going to keep me motivated. I'm going to start working out with my cousin soon. My cousin just won his pro card for bodybuilding.
Oh, wow.
And posing. He's Mr. Rochester. Mr. Rochester, he just won his pro card. I'm going to start working out with him soon. And really, I have 3 goals with him. I don't want to be shredded like he does, like he is. I mean, he is shredded. But my goals, frankly, is to be able to do stuff that I did when I was in high school. I want to do sit-ups without dying. I want to be able to do push-ups without, falling on my face after like 3. And I want to be able to do a pull-up. It's been a long time since I've been able to do pull-ups. And I want to do a pull-up. So those are my goals with him right now.
That's
and when
fair.
we start working out, I'm going to work out with him until I get those goals. So I'm going to start working out with him soon. This is just another step that I'm going to take to get where I need to be. And so I'm not being lax on this. I am taking steps to make this continue to happen. I started going back to the gym. I was working out 3-4 times a week. I haven't been in like 2.5 weeks because I was having some leg issues. But now that my leg issues are done, I'm going to hit back to the gym hard.
Well, you know what? I've got an idea here for you. Well, let's kind of build this as we go along, because I think I've got a good idea breaking down the fourth wall here. Maybe every time you come on the podcast, you notate where you were, and then you talk about where you are, and even if it's good or bad, even if it's good or bad, even if it's, hey, look it, I talked to you guys last 2 weeks ago. I haven't been to the gym since. Here's why. But I'm not giving up. Right. Just to kind of that way, so you can be, because I think the most effective way to not only keep yourself honest but help others be honest with themselves is transparency. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days, like I said, and that's the good days make you want to work harder, and the bad days make you want to get back to those good days, essentially. So, yeah, I think there's a lot here. I'm excited to see where you go. You've already gone pretty far, and I'm excited to see where you go from here.
I appreciate that. So ladies and gentlemen, look for more coming from me. There is. I'm gonna sign off now. I'm gonna end this one, and just say, once again, Ryan, I appreciate you coming on and helping me produce this one, and probably some of the ones coming forward. And I look forward to taking this journey with the people who decide to listen. And if you want to walk with me, let me know. Let's walk together. That's the plan.
And one last thing too. One last thing I want to mention. If you don't hear these podcasts or see these podcasts, you know how to get a hold of me. You know how to get a hold of Lewis. Yell at me. I'll yell at him, or just yell at him directly. and we'll get one of these out for you.
Absolutely. That's what I want. I want that. So, the way it works is we'll do this one, and then, I have to do a second one to be able to submit it to a couple other platforms. So soon it'll be on different platforms, but right now, we'll put it on our social media when it gets produced. And after that, you'll be able to see it on other platforms as soon as the second one drops. But so this is Project Transformation, and I welcome you to my journey. Thanks for listening.
The preceding presentation has been brought to you by the GERE Network.
Welcome, everyone. This is Sleazy.
This is the Fat Man.
And the world-famous R-rated podcast is now on the GERE Network. The Wrestling Show with Sleazy and the Fat Man is classless and raunchy commentary on the wrestling business today. Our multiple hosts, including Sleazy the Fat Man, Chip Willett, and NEW owner Travis Kenning, give a differing take on news, rumors, reviews, and previews of the entirety of the worldwide pro wrestling market.
We do what we want, we say what we want, and we don't give a at all. That's just the way we go.
Check us out on the GERE Network.